Can you hear me now? All right, there we go. Good morning, family. This, of course, is the day that the Lord has made. We rejoice. We are glad in it. After some technical difficulties, we are happy to report, excuse me, we are live. We are well and wanting to share some words of inspiration, word of faith with you on this blessed day when we honor the life, the legacy, the ministry, the service of the Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. And we pause to honor God for that work, that commitment, that sacrifice, and the difference that has been made in and through his life. And so I wanted to come on this morning and definitely salute that and share a few other things with you. Why don't you let somebody know that we are on this morning? We tried a few other streams, didn't go through. This stream is live. Come on. I want you to know this stream is live. And you need to let somebody know that we are here. And we have a special guest that is going to grace our presence on this morning. A very special guest that we look forward to. So let somebody know we're on. Let them know we're here. This is the stream that is going to carry us for the next few moments. All right. First, of course, on this day, right, where normally we would be committed to some type of service or some type of gathering or some type of activity to celebrate the Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King's birthday. But today we pause in Columbus, Ohio. We're in a snowstorm, and in many other parts of the world, we're in a global pandemic. So the way we would normally celebrate or lift up this day has changed. But I do challenge you to be mindful of ways to serve humanity, mindful of ways to make a difference, all the things that the Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. stood for. Right now, big issue is voting rights that Congress and the powers that be need to address and pass. And so because we believe prayer is the causal realm, we also make those things matters of prayer. So people that tell you, oh, it don't matter if you vote, don't matter if you vote. I don't know why they say that, because so much money, so many decisions, so much happens behind the vote. And so I encourage you to pay attention to these things and take advantage of your opportunity, your privilege to vote when the opportunity presents itself, because it matters. Many decisions are being made over the next few years. It's going to be so pivotal and so empowered and so important. So I want you to keep those things in mind as we celebrate this day and the life legacy of the Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. All right. Let's see our special guest for a moment. Before I jump into some other things that I want to share, you need to let somebody know we're on today. Let somebody know we're here. It's a very special guest. I call her Baby Atara. She's a big girl now. She's such a big girl. Oh, yeah, she's not a baby. She is 3 years old, and she can never wait for her opportunity to come on and say hello to the Destiny Church International. And so say hi to Destiny Church International.
Hi.
Hi, Destiny Church.
Hi, Destiny Church.
God bless you.
God bless you.
All right, she wanted to say hi, and she woke up this morning ready to go play in the snow.
We're going to have a snowball fight.
We're going to have a snowball fight.
But Mommy is working, so me and Daddy are going to have one.
That's right. Lady K has to work today. I'm trying to get her to call in and tell him she ain't back to 100% yet. So So Daddy and Tara gonna go play in the snow.
Yeah, but I ain't gonna have so much fun. But yesterday we had a fire when Mommy said we needed a fire.
we made a fire outside. All right, Tara will be back in a few minutes. After I share a few things, say see you in a minute.
See you in a minute.
She'll be back to share in a few minutes to say hello again. That's everything right there. I wanted to remind us of our 4 pillars this morning. All right, a few things I need to make us aware of, remind us, emphasize. All right, that's what I want to do. Emphasize a few things. And again, you let somebody know this stream is live. I know we tried it a few times this morning and couldn't go through, but this one is live. So come on and share. Let somebody know we are on. This is the stream. Can somebody put in the chat our 4 pillars, our 4 principles? What are our 4 P's? Excuse me, 4 F's. I'm giving you a hit. All right, the 4 F's. What are they? They are pillars. They are emphasis of the Destiny Church International. Come on, what are they this morning? I want to remind you of these things and emphasize them for a moment today. They are part of who we are, part of what we do, part of, it's the backdrop. It's the pillars. We stand on them and drive them home. Again, it's not something that we just say, oh, this is what we're going to talk about this year. These are pillars that we want to live with, live by. All right, what are they? What are they? Yes, YouTube is on it. YouTube has it. Faith, family, finance, fitness. Faith, family, finance, fitness. And these are pillars, right? So we make our faith. We make our faith a priority, a commitment, our relationship with God. So right now in our series and our teaching and our preaching, we're talking about knowing God, this relationship, this intimacy, this oneness as the goal and objective, this faith piece, right? So faith is a foundation, priority, pivotal part of our life. All right, faith is key. Family is so important. We are a church that pushes, encourages all of these dynamics around being a healthy family, being a faith-filled family, being a connective, all of these elements, because God created family as an important aspect of life, as an important institution. Family is one of the first things God created, and so family is so important. Then we have finance. In our society, in the situation that we live in, 2022 America, your financial situation is so important. It's so important, right? And to the way we worship, right? Our worship is connected and tied into our finance and giving. All right, a lot of our prayers and requests and things we lift before God are often tied somehow, connected to our financial situation. And so finance are important. And we are a church that wants to bless people, empower people, impact people to be sustained, to thrive even in the area of finance, to be healthy in this regard. And so I remind you, on Tuesday, February 1st, we will have a finance seminar, some foundational, important, and spiritual aspects of finance, money, wealth, and the way we should handle ourselves, the way we should be responsible, and some spiritual truths. All right, there are spiritual truths in regards to finance. All right, and so we want to lift those up. Tuesday, February 1st, we want you to be there and to be present for that seminar webinar, virtual webinar on that Tuesday evening. All right. And then there is fitness, faith, family, finance, fitness. We are a church that believes in your physical health. This is also connected to your worship. It's also connected to how you serve your family. It's also connected. I mean, they're all connected, right? And your physical health is important. All right. And so as we are in still a global health pandemic, I want to remind you, your health, your nutrition, your diet is so important. And today, I want to remind you the significance, the importance of exercise. Come on, don't you leave. Don't you disappear. Don't you go nowhere. Matter of fact, I need you to type on the screen, exercise. Type in the chat. Exercise. All right, exercise. This is a reminder today. And I know a lot of times we make New Year's resolutions and we say this is going to be the year I'm going to do it. But I need to remind you today, before you say this ain't spiritual, this ain't deep, listen, exercise is important. Do you know? Here's one of the reasons why. Do you know the biggest organ on your body? The biggest organ on your body is what? Your skin. All right. And your skin has pores, has holes in it. Watch this. That give you the ability to detox. All right. Not just coming in, but there are toxins, things in our body that go out of our body when we sweat / when we exercise. And so sweating is one of the healthiest things we can do as human beings because it helps our bodies to detox and rid ourselves of the toxins. So some of you exercise. Now, I know it's winter in Columbus, Ohio, and I know we're in pandemic. So some people are not going to the gym. Some people are not taking a walk outside. But you got to find a way to exercise. All right? It could be climbing up your steps. It could be putting on sweatpants, sweatshirt, and walking around your house, putting on, watch this. You got a smartphone. You got YouTube. Put on an exercise video. If you're elderly, I would imagine they have elderly exercise videos that'll be easy on your joints, easy on your bones, whatever place you are at in that. You need to sweat. You need to exercise. All right. You need to get toxins out of your body. I mentioned to you all that our household fought COVID-19, and our symptoms were mild. And I believe part of that was because we have taken the vaccine. Part of that is because we commit to exercise. Part of that is because we commit to a healthy lifestyle. All of these things contribute, right, to fighting, overcoming, minimizing the effects of it. I know it affects everybody in different ways, but we were able to overcome. As I know, so many people that have dealt with it are overcome. Some easier than others, but have overcome. And I want to remind you today, your commitment to your health, physical health. All right. It's so important. And so I need you to find a way to exercise. You got steps in your house. There you go. All right. If you don't have steps in your house, get your workout video, put on sweatpants, sweatshirt, and exercise. You got to start somewhere. All right. You got to start somewhere. And sweating is going to help your body detox. All right. Those are some things I wanted to remind and make you aware of on today, because those things are pillars and things I wanted to emphasize. All right, yesterday, Sunday worship service, I did not mention anything about Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King, and I wanted to make sure I come on and honor, celebrate, lift that up. I also wanted to remind you of our pillars because of our finance seminar coming up, because of our need to exercise and stay healthy in the midst of a global pandemic. And then this morning, I was getting ready to get on, and baby Atara said, "Can I come on church?" Because we've been talking about it for weeks and weeks and weeks. And so this was the morning. This was the day. Third time was the charm. We tried it several times this morning, and this one brought it. This is the stream that brought it through. And I see we're missing a lot of people, but we had to go through with it because we had to keep trying to figure out what was going on. All right. I believe it's the final thing I want to just speak to and address, because my heart was grieved on yesterday afternoon, evening, of this video circulating around the internet, the World Wide Web, of this pastor, and I'll even mention his name, Pastor Michael Todd. And it was a horrific video that I actually did not even watch in totality, because I could not continue to watch the video. But the video is of a pastor leading a large congregation by the name of Michael Todd. And again, it grieved my heart, it grieved my spirit. I was just shaken up yesterday evening as it began to circulate on the World Wide Web. And he is preaching a sermon, and in the midst of his sermon, now clearly I only see the snippet. We only see the 2 minutes, but the sermon is about Jesus anointing, or Jesus praying for a blind man by spitting. The Bible says, I believe this was the text he was referring to, spitting in the mud, spitting in the dirt, making mud, and putting the mud on the person's eyes to heal them. And this pastor literally spits hawks into his hand. And according to the reports, I could not watch the end of the video. According to the reports, his demonstration, or his illustration, he literally takes the spit on his hands and wipes it on a person's eyes who is being used in the demonstration. And it's just nothing wrong on so many. Let me say that, wrong on so many levels, on every level, right? For the young man who was, just everything. The young man who was being used in the demonstration. We're in a pandemic. You're literally spitting in your hands. The illustration, and if you're using the text of Jesus spitting in the mud, you missed that part. Just wrong on so many levels, and it grieved me because so many people are going to view it and say, "See, this is why I don't go to church. See, this is why y'all need to get back to some of the basics, right? Which of course we do. See, this is what happens when people that don't go to seminary end up preaching." All of the challenges, criticisms of people inside the church and people outside the church, are going to be raging today, and it's just not what the black church needs. It's not what we preachers need. I just start calling preachers, say, oh my God, this is terrible, this is ugly, this is horrible on so many levels. I hope he sits down and gets counsel the same way we would counsel a pastor that has fallen into some type of sin. That pastor needs correction, help, counsel, lesson in hermeneutics, right? This brother needs help. And so I wanted to speak to it because it is all over the internet, and I'm a pastor. And I often don't speak to stuff going on in the news or on social media and things of that nature. But I was so grieved. I was so vexed. And it's really a day where we celebrate such fine preaching in the life of Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., right? This perfect, this blessed example of preaching, of ministry, of clarity, of trumpeting truth. And then you have this foolishness going on. So I would remind us, church people, believers, especially when you're looking for a church home, you don't have to go somewhere just because they have smoke and lights and professional appearance. You better find a church house that is rooted in truth, that is rooted in love, that is not trying to be for show. You better find a place that cares about your soul. Find a place that cares about your growth and your development in God. Find a church that cares about your family, your faith, your fitness, your finance. All right, because there's mess out there, and again, some of these churches have thousands of members, and sometimes what it looks like, because now we're judging his whole ministry by these 2 minutes. And unfortunately, and it would appear then that he is just fanaticism, right? For show, all of these things. So I want you to be rooted in truth. I want you to be here's my thing, and here's where I am as I continually mature in my faith and seeking God. Watch this. I am just loving older and ancient Christianity. I am loving more and more the ancient faith, right? So now a lot of times when you go to the Christian bookstore, we're looking at this pastor's book and this sister's book and books that are very contemporary and modern. Guess what? I am interested now and more so in books that were written 500 years ago. How Christianity was lived and expressed 1,000 years ago. And in case you're not aware, we have writings from people literally 2,000 years ago, literally the writings of people who lived right after Jesus, right after the apostles, right? And so this richness of our faith, we think, and here, let me say this, as far as worship goes, for all of our people into praise and worship, all of our people into all of the expressions of worship that we have today, 2022. We do not have to reinvent the wheel. We don't have to reinvent the wheel of what Christianity is. We don't have to reinvent the wheel of what worship looks like. I know worship has changed because you remember when we had testimony service, and now we don't have testimony service. Now we go into praise and worship. And if you were ever to be a part of or to see a liturgical church, they just keep liturgical worship, right? But our church seems like too many times is just reinventing the wheel and trying to create a whole new Christianity. And now we dress different, and now we got to be hip, and now we got to be cool. And I am less interested in being hip and being cool and being relevant. I'm more concerned about the truth of the gospel coming alive in our lives, worshiping in spirit and in truth. If it's not cool, if it's not hip, if it's not smoke, Is the Spirit of God there? Yesterday, you heard me talk about, even if it's not a shout, even if it's not a jump, is the presence of God there? And can we discern, can we experience, can we sense the presence of God even without a quickening? Can we experience the presence of God even without a Hammond B3? Can we experience the presence of God without a tambourine? And you need to know, as I said on yesterday, he walks with me. He talks with me. He tells me I'm his own. So I am in my study, in my passion for God, and falling in love again with the ancient church. And I encourage you to be mindful that we worship in spirit and truth, and that we don't just need to be hip and fad and in. We need the presence of God in our mind, in our heart, in our lives. All right. I love you today. I love you today. I want you to be encouraged. I want you to be encouraged today. We're getting ready to go play in the snow. We're going to eat a little something, then we're going to play in the snow. I hope you have a blessed, safe, enjoyable rest of your day. We've got to pray for the church. We've got to pray for one another. We've got to be healthy. All right. And we've got to press forward in the things of God. All right. What do you want to tell them, Tara, baby Tara? To have a nice day.
Have a nice day. And we're gonna
We're going to go play in the snow like that. Yeah, like that.
Yeah, and then I'm gonna try to hide from Daddy.
She's going to hide.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I think I'm gonna run.
We want to run. She loves to run. She loves to run. All right. So God bless you.
God bless you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. We'll see you. We love you, DCI. As always, God has set before you life and death. And I still, even today, encourage you to choose life. God bless you. Have a wonderful day.
Bye. Love you.
Oops, hold on.
Sorry, we